and I've been a long time I've been a long time Haken fan. So on the mustard that is to the ketchup of Vector, we return to Mount View Hospital on what I think is probably Haken's biggest, most expansive and most complete release to date, that is Virus. For me, the key behind Virus is the fact that yes, it's a companion piece to Vector, but it also tells the story of the Cockroach King. But most importantly, it's an album that can kind of like stand on its own two legs and doesn't necessarily rely on just that. There are callbacks to sections on Vector as a result, but I think the kind of crowning piece is the origin story of the Cockroach King, which is this 5-piece suite, which is Messiah Complex. Overall, I think the atmosphere is a lot darker, I feel like the tuning is even kind of lower. There's a lot more focus on distortion, and just in general, it doesn't feel kind of as positive as some of the Haken releases sort of have. Prosthetic immediately kind of sets the tone, and then you've got Invasion and the kind of stabbing riff that is on Carousel as well. And they really do kind of get into your psyche. I also think this is probably their most technical to date and complicated really, given the fact they've got a 5-piece suite of this, Messiah complex. But I think a great example is Marigold in that, where there's sort of like so much musical assault course going on, but it never really feels kind of overly tiring or like kind of being musicians for musicians' sake, which I really, really enjoy. And there's influences on here which range from like progressive metal, jazz, ambient, electronica. There's so much to kind of discover here, which I really, really enjoyed as well. I also think that throughout the record, it just sounds big. Not only is the concept, kind of quite grandiose, and they're kind of going back into their Haken lore that they've created now, I think they've got a sound that matches it, and it does have that sense of kind of like a cinematic piece to it. Like the final section of the Messiah complex, which is Ectobius Rex, kind of creates this denouement that feels natural and has that sort of climactic end. There's also a brilliant sense of sci-fi, particularly with, I think, Ross's vocals and some of the electronic keyboard sort of parts. There's a lot of like vocoder effects that are used, but then the keyboards are really important, but they're not kind of like as at the forefront as they were on Vector, for example. I've got to from the stars if humility comes. On the fourth part of the Messiah Complex suite, it definitely references the Cockroach King directly on The Sect, which has, I think it's the same sort of guitar lines and then also that sort of a cappella that was really iconic of that song. I think that Virus firmly implements the fact that Haken definitely have their own identity and their own voice. I've been a long time Haken fan for probably for the last sort of 7 years really, ever since I first heard The Mountain. And this really does kind of bring things into perspective from the Haken camp for sure. Haken have made an album which is full of surprises and also a fantastic Easter egg hunt, a great companion piece to Vector, but not only kind of stays within that Haken lore, but pushes it even further and does exactly the same with the band's sound. So thank you so much for watching this, I would say, album commentary. I'm gonna call them album commentaries now. Truth be told, I've had a bit of I don't know, I'm just not really too sure what I've been feeling with this channel, to be fair. I really enjoy doing reviews, but I think one of the things I'm going to stop is actually rating albums, because I feel that, a lot of things get kind of hinged on ratings. And it doesn't necessarily mean that you shouldn't check the album out, or, you know, that there is no sort of good or bad qualities about the album. But for me, it's just, I don't know, I'm getting kind of fed up with the rating system, truth be told, because on this channel, you know, like, I want to just talk about music and, yes, okay, review albums in a way, but also kind of try and shine light on some of the smaller bands, because I just feel like reviewing is not necessarily what I enjoy doing now. I just like talking about music. You know, it kind of got to a point where this wasn't necessarily as much fun as it used to be. And that's why I started this channel in the first place, was to just chat about metal with you guys. And that's what I don't want to sort of forget, is that this, you know, I don't want it to get to this point where it stops being fun. But yeah, let me know what you think, drop a comment, and if you've got any ideas of what you might like to see me cover in the channel. I'm kind of, you know, trying to figure something out. Maybe I might do some vinyl stuff, I'm not entirely sure. But I also just wanted to kind of be fairly straight with you guys. Take care, make sure that all of you guys are safe, and wear a mask, and I will see you guys very, very soon. Take care, my friends.